So last Wednesday I said I'm going to do a truck review, and then I'm going to do a review on this bike on what it takes to get it street legal and 2-up instead of being a police bike. Just a quick overview the following Wednesday. And then on Sunday I forgot I'd said that, and I said, well, I'm going to go over stuff on my truck and updates and upgrades and things I've done. Long story short, I said this one first, and I'm way too tired to do the other one any justice. It'd turn out horrible if I did, and I already filmed this, so that's the other good thing. So anyway, we're going to do the bike now, and then we're going to do the plates as we usually do. We've got a lot of them today. I mean, I got back from Toronto and there was a bunch of them, so thank you. So we're going to go over those, and then we're going to do some bonus footage at the end from my trip to Toronto, so that should be fun. So anyway, stay tuned. We're going to go over this bike. The first thing you have to do on a bike like this is you have to get a horn. Mine's had a little damage. Now the reason why it doesn't have a horn is that you have a siren. Anytime in any police, law enforcement vehicle, when you hit the horn, it's actually like a whale siren. Not like the Moby the Dick whale, but... So I mounted a horn down in here, and you see the wire going down to it from that plug. So that's all pretty cut and dry. For the most part, all you got to do is pull off this fairing. The wire for the horn is like right here. I tagged into it from the back, but it's just floating around up in here. I've found since I've owned this bike that I don't use the rear trunk very much. Very seldom. Sometimes I'll throw ice cream in it. Groceries, I threw a hammer drill in it yesterday, but that is by far and large, it's the exception. Plus it's not that deep. When you look at it, see how the skirt hangs down quite a bit past this little rubber gasket? It's just not that deep. There's not a whole lot of room in it. And I think of the opportunities where I could be taking my little girls for a ride or hauling 2 people for different occasions. I want a back seat. So I had to take pretty much the whole bike apart just to do this. These are the 3 main parts that have to come off in order to get the rear seat to fit. In the front, you've got a suspension adjustment thing here. You've got a little valve, you can turn the knob, make the rear suspension harder or softer. Anyway, this one to get off, it's got these sticky tape things that go over the top of where the bolts are for that. You can see how when this lays flat, it blocks access to that. So you gotta bend that back. This is pretty much junk anyway. So this has to come off, and there's just 2 bolts in the front, 2 in the back. Super easy, no big deal. The reason why you have to take the whole stinking back of the bike apart is this little humma-jumma right here. This thing, you only, in my opinion, I think I only need a screw here and a screw here because I'm not a BMW engineer. But they've got these 2 bolts that go in the front side here that are covered by a fairing, and in order to get access you have to take the fairing off. Well, everything goes through that fairing. Your racks go through the fairing. Let me just show you on the bike. This is super easy. This is where the little side pieces for a RTP bike go on. It looks like a mock back seat, just a little space filler, and it comes off pretty easy. But like I say, to get the fairings off the side, to get to these screws is a nightmare. Well, it's not a nightmare, it's just you always think you can get in there. I got the one on the right hand side to come off well enough. On the left hand side you have several thick wire harnesses that get in the way. So this bracket's a huge pain in the neck to get off, and the reason being is the screws go in the front side of this little support here where the grab handle goes. If they did a screw, like his had this bend this way and did a screw here, it'd be a piece of cake to swap this from a police service to a civilian, or 2-up, 2 passengers. But because this goes over the top of that, see these 2 holes are for this, so it's buried clear underneath of there. You can barely get to the screws in the top. Now this is the foundation of everything. This plate, this black plate, and the thick aluminum plate or whatever that is underneath of it. If you can get this plate off, you're good. All of these electronics, they interfere with the seat. You can pull that off and just have it sit down a little bit lower, or your trunk latch thing. Get that out of the way. You'll be using the cable for the release on the seat. This assembly here is like $240 for the whole back lights, not with the lights on it, just a plastic junk. And no lock cylinder, but just a cable with a proper latch for the seat. I'm going to try to reuse this or some aspects of it so that I can get the seat to latch down. So I'm not going to pay $300 for essentially a $25 part. But anyway, you got to get rid of this. So to get the first thing that's got to come off, you got to pull these 2 screws out. But in order to have that happen, you have to pull 2 screws from here, 1 from here, 1 from here, 2 screws up here, 1 underneath of here, 1 from here, and then just all of your different rack stuff here, 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 and here. I mean, it's a pile of screws by the time you're done. You look, I've got them just strewn everywhere just to get these to get out of the way to get to these. Otherwise, it'd be just bang, 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 done. The other thing, like I say, this adjustable shock thing has to get tucked in somewhere else. I haven't found a home for it yet, but anything's easier and better than the way it was because it was like pointing straight down. I don't know if that's because of air getting stuck in the system, but it has to be like that. You can see it's got a little turn knob here for adjusting the suspension, and it goes directly to the back shock. So once you can get this off and this off, this is really easy. It's just the 4 screws. There's 3 different torque sizes. Most of them are just the 2 sizes, but there's one odd duck. So T45 is the big one. The smaller size is a T30. And then I also used a little bit of T27 in some places. So T27, T30, and T45, those are the 3 sizes you need. And for the most part, you can really run with it. But once you get all these screws apart, this one's an E, you know, reverse Torx. But it's a 13 millimeter on the front, and you can just get that, and then this will just kind of hold still well enough. So get all the wires off the top of it. Pull this out of the way, and I think you'll find that the seat actually fits in there great. And as long as you have the, see, these tag into the back seat, and they hold the front seat down by that. You got the little perch points here. You got to clear this of all the wires that come through here to this back part. These 2 here are the perch points for the back. This is where your latch mounts for your back seat. This is how the seat latch looks on here. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to Dremel the snot out of all of this, and then I'm going to drill a plate to the back here, and I'm going to, I may or may not, and then screw this to the plate so that this sticks down in the exact same place right here. And then take this and mount this in some fashion in the same place. Not sure about this right here, but it is just really, really robust, really stout for doing a rack. Once you put the back seat on, there is a gap right here. So I'll need to do something with a rack. And this seat, it's already ready to go. I mean, it's no big deal. It just sits in its perch. And then these are what hold down the front seat. You know, do not want to come up. You can see it's got its little secure things in 2 positions, because this seat you can actually do in 2 positions. You can either run it with this in this position for low, or you can run it in high. I should be running this in high, but I've been running it in low. See, and that gives you a little gap under here for your taller riders like me. Let's say one of my fans came up to meet me, Stefan Revest from Revest Radical Ride. You'll see him in the bonus footage. So he came up and picked me up from the hotel. Went and saw the town, and it took me to the airport. It was pretty fun. But anyway, that's the first thing he said, "You're tall." So anyway, that's how this seat setup goes. And like I say, you can have it in one position or the other. Now the drawback is that you have a big gap right here. There's factory handles that go onto here, and they come up to meet a rack. The rack's made out of plastic, and you can't really do anything with it or tie anything to it. So I was going to build my own rack. I just haven't had time. Like I say, I've been out of town and whatnot. But to get to the seat, normally what you do is there's those little half seats, and they're on a rod. There's a wire underneath. You trigger the wire, and they'll slide out in half out each side once these are out of the way. If these are down and in the locked position, you know, like with a key, then that's what keeps somebody from snatching the seat or doing something nefarious. Anyway, once everything's out of the way, bada bing. Next order of business is I need to do something to get this sucker to latch down. So I've got this platform here to bolt to, and then I need to be able to grab onto this little bar right here. So I need something to catch it on each side here and here, and then something in the middle to latch onto it. And then it's got these little rubber pads on either side to keep it from rattling. Once you do that, you can't really pull it up from here because it hooks into the bike. So you can pull up on that and it won't go unless this gives a little. If it gives a little, then of course it's going to move. But anyway, kind of excited. I've had this bike over a year and I've never had anybody on the back seat because there wasn't one. I ordered this on eBay. Used, beat up, faded, just looking kind of gross. 220 bucks. That's a lot better than the hundreds and hundreds of dollars it cost if I got it new, and I can just reupholster it. I'll probably need to do both of them anyway. They both have some nicks and scuffs and wear to them. So with those out of the way, you just have to pull those other brackets that I mentioned. This has to be re-secured somewhere else or removed. I'm pretty sure you can just remove it because this is all just flashers and whatnot. I think that these you can pull off the plate and put somewhere else, or you can just tuck them down underneath it here. Either one works fine. As much as everybody uses zip ties these days for everything, the big thing is you just got to make sure that you don't have, say like this wire right here, you can't have that chafing on anything. So you got to secure that properly.
Thanks for watching Brian's Mobile 1. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, check out the rest of the videos.
First one's from Jonathan Stansel from Summertown, Tennessee. This one's out of Lawrence County. It says TennesseeVacation.com on it, the volunteer state, or the Vols. They had the most people volunteer for the war, and so that's where they got that. The next one is from Adolf. He's from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and they've got stickers front and back. Sometimes I kind of wish they'd do that here. It'd make it a lot easier to do things. Anyway, awesome. Thanks, Adolf. Appreciate it. And Motive Gear Performance. I got a sticker for the old toolbox and it says on the back, keep up the good videos. Also, keep adding the great Utah outdoors to the B-Fate. I'm glad you guys like the B-Fate because that is so much fun for me to do. It'd be sad if everybody hated it. I didn't check inside this one to see if there's a letter. I'll double check. There is. So we're going back and checking the letter for Jonathan Stansel. And he writes, Dear Brian, hey man, love the videos. Found you while searching for Dodge Death Wobble info and quickly moved to the Ginger Power. You guys seen the Ginger Power video? I'll link to Ginger Power video here. And was hooked. LOL. Thanks for the great video. Hope this Tennessee plate helps your project, and it does. Thank you. New and pristine, used very little. Enjoy it and keep it up. This next one's from Rob Borrell. He's from, I want to say York, Pennsylvania. If I got that right, I won't edit it. Wow, take a look at that. This thing's hefty, and it's painted on both sides. It's not just aluminum. Isn't that interesting? That's pretty cool. Thanks for the plate from Maryland. This thing looks like it's been there, done that. That's awesome. Hello, Brian. Here's a Maryland for your collection off a 1990 GMC Sonoma. Those are good little pickups. Thoroughly enjoy your entertaining and informing YouTube videos or posts. Keep them coming. Best wishes, Bob B. Thanks, Bob. This next one comes to us from Edward Zablocki from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. I don't know. It's STCLR Shores, Michigan. Dude, this is awesome. I've got two of them. That helps for plans on what I'm going to do. Thanks, Edward. This next one comes from BJ Bryan from Cockeys, Maryland. Dude, I'm so tired. There's no way I could have done the accessories video today. But sometimes it's a little tough. Ooh, that's cool. That's from 1970 and they got the expiration right in there. That's cool. Awesome. Thanks, BJ. This next one comes to us from Terry McDole from Nashville, Tennessee. That's big town stuff right there. Isn't that nice? Tennessee sounds good to me. From Davidson County, again, volunteer state. Awesome. So they've got Davidson. So there's what that wheel tax looks like right there. Interesting. So they probably have a tax according to how many wheels you have. 4 wheels or 18 wheels or whatever the case may be. Thanks, Terry. Next one's from Douglas. That's a little different spelling. Thanks, Doug. This is from Dearborn, Michigan. That's where a lot of cars come from. No way, dude. You sent me a plate from your first car? 1996 Pontiac Grand Prix SE 4-door. Thank you. That's a new one. You see the Great Lakes in the middle. You see that they've got that swirl thing, and then you also see the bridge. It says Spectacular Peninsula. Do you guys know Michigan's kind of split in two? It's pretty cool. There's on the Great Lakes that goes between here, I think, and here, or here and here. I'll show you here in just a minute. And then the letter enclosed says, so hopefully it keeps the other side of that. Dear Brian, thank you from the state with the greatest of lakes and where you can give location by pointing to the palm of your hand. Isn't that cool? I think you use your left hand because of the shape of it. Cool. Thank you for all the awesome videos. I have learned a lot. This plate is off my first car. It was a white 96 Pontiac Grand Prix SE 4-door. Thanks for sharing what car it came off of too. That's awesome. I saw you were in need of a Michigan. I hope this helps. It does. Thank you. Thank you for all your content. Best regards, Kasim Douglas. YouTube name, Rabid Mar 3N3. Marine. Rabid Marine. That's what it is. Rabid Marine. Awesome. Thanks, Kasim. Thanks, Douglas. I don't know what you go by. I don't want to mess it up. I just appreciate it. This last one comes from Willie Will from Allentown, Pennsylvania, depending how you pronounce it. I think I see a motorcycle plate. Dude, this guy hooked me up left and right. He's going for it. So with motorcycle tags, you often have to put in an extra hole here and there just to make it happen, Captain. So awesome. This one's not even expired. 4/17, I don't think. Thanks, Willie. So we got Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, we got another Pennsylvania, a Virginia, Maryland, with the War of 1812 on it. Holy crap, dude, you are hooking me up. I got a New York plate, so this is gonna help, and a New Jersey plate. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to start doing something with motorcycle plates now. I've collected my own, but now that I'm starting to pick up a few more, that's pretty fun. That's pretty exciting. They're more rare too. Not everybody does a motorcycle. Thanks everybody. Let's check out the map. You can tell where Willie Will's been. There's a lot of them. It's Willie's Automotive Services. So he probably deals in a lot of different cars. But thanks to Kasim, Willie Will, Jonathan Stansel, Troy WT, Bob Borrell, Edward Zablocki, BJ Bryan, and Terry McDowell. I'm going to see if I can get all these towns right. Somerton, Tennessee, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, York, Pennsylvania. I don't know what this is. I think it's St. Clair Shores, Michigan. And Kasim Douglas from Dearborn, Michigan. Willie Will from Allentown, Pennsylvania. BJ Bryan from, oh, I should remember that. And then Nashville, Tennessee, Terry McDowell. So thanks to all you guys for all your plates. Got 14 plates. Can you believe that? Look at all these different plates that I have. I'll go real slow on the ones that I have. That's the address where I'm at. There's only 15 left to go. We've got 35 out of 50 nifty United States from 13 original colonies. So 15 missing states are, man, I hope I can edit this. Florida, Oregon, Wyoming, Arkansas, Kentucky, New Hampshire, Maine, Delaware, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Vermont, Mississippi, Louisiana, Iowa, and Kansas. Louisiana, I hear, is going to be the special mission. I guess you have to turn in your plates in order to get your new plates for your new car. So I don't know exactly how that works out, because what if you just turn 16, you don't have any old plates to turn in? Or what about rental car agencies? Or what about dealerships traded in or something? I don't know. So, but I guess that's the unicorn. That's going to be the tough one to get. So maybe I ought to write that one at the top, because that one will be the last one to come in. But anyway, you guys are awesome. You know you're awesome. You're so good to me. I just really appreciate it. It's so fun to go to the post office and to find these plates there. So here's some footage from Toronto. This is my trip that I did with Pennzoil, doing the Honda IndyCar race.
Bonus footage at the end.
So, welcome to Canada.
Yeah.
Is this your first time?
On this side, yeah, I've been to Alberta before.
Oh, right.
See the bar sticking out that they're using the string for the alignment. and checkered flag. You're gonna say something cool like that so I can push record.
No.
So we're going 33 stories higher than we just were.
Yeah, and from the ground it's 147 building stories. So enjoy the view.
I don't think so. Yours won't pop though.
Yeah, mine just did.
The irony is that holding the strap does nothing. Hey, he's looking up. Everybody's looking up.